We all know taking long form content and breaking it into short form content boosts social engagement and will ultimately drive more revenue. But are you building an efficient workflow to create that content? Here's how I turned 10 hours of editing into under one. Did you know that you can have your webinar transcribed in the time it takes to sip some hot coffee? Here's how I turned 10 hours of editing into under one. The short answer is I'm leveraging different softwares, automations, and AI technologies to handle the project management, communication channels, and the video editing process. Okay, and to jump right in, the first thing I do is I actually bring it into DaVinci Resolve. So we're going to work on this clip we have for Sarah here. I'll show you that process. I bring it in here because on most calls and most webinars presentations, you have that 5 to 10 minutes in the beginning where you're just waiting for everyone to get into the room and really actually start the content. So this saves me time and ultimately money, which we'll get into later on. So I just go through that. This clip doesn't need it. They both look great. Sarah knows what she's doing. But if I needed to, I would go into the color grade and just do a quick touch up. Again, I'm only doing this because I'm fast in Resolve, and it just will save me time in the long run. Okay, and once I get that clip, I do a quick export, and I will do an audio and a video export. The video export is going to go into Descript. So you just load this right in here. There's multiple ways to load in a clip. If you haven't worked with Descript, you can probably learn this in under an hour. So I'll throw it in, and I will quickly do, they have some amazing automations built in here where you can shorten the word gaps if there's extended parts where they weren't talking, or maybe they pause for questions. Remove filler words, which is always a great start. And when you go through this, you don't have to just say accept. You can go through each one, and that's what I do. I know it takes a little extra time, but it ends up benefiting me if I just do it right from the get-go, because that way not only will the transcription that I deliver be more accurate and not have all these ums and ends and likes, it will be a much smaller document to go through as well. So before I even start editing in Descript, we have one more thing we're going to do. And what that is this is where it saves me so much time. This is really the magic of how I got my editing down so quickly. And that is from using Castmagic. So Castmagic, and there's a lot of different services out there. You upload the audio file. That's like why I said I also upload an audio file. So I upload that also right here. I'll do this at the same time. And you know what I do while I wait for that? Drink a little coffee. So in Castmagic, there's a bunch of different features, including pre-made ChatGPT prompts that they'll give you these titles, the clip finders, but you can also go in and build your own in Magic Chat and save it if you like the results you're getting. And what I've done is I've built out, and I continue to build out when I see what works and doesn't. So right here is 5 YouTube titles, and that's actually 5 YouTube titles that is geared towards B2B and tech marketers. So I do different prompts, so I make sure the titles and who the audience I'm trying to reach, that is like the optimum settings. And again, it's real easy to tweak that with each video to see what works and doesn't. There's an introduction if you want to use that. A LinkedIn post, which I continue to work on and see what I like most. And again, these aren't perfect. Before I deliver this to a client, I will go through and edit and delete some things and change stuff up. But it doesn't take me that long, which is great. Impact quotes, and what that is supposed to do, I'll scroll down here. As you can see, there's a lot it can do. You can add more. You can take stuff away. These impact quotes is really what I'm trying to work on to help find the shorts, and that's what's saving me the most time. But it's not always accurate. And for an example, a lot of times when you're prompting it, you're trying to get it to pull direct quotes from the transcript, but a lot of times it kind of just makes its own quote using what's in the transcript. So let me see if I can find declare the problem. I feel like that might be the problem. So what I'm going to do is I come in here now. I just say the problem. What I can do quickly that AI can't is understand if this clip actually makes sense and if it's going to resonate with your target audience. So we could find that clip that we want to use, and then let's just say we're going to use these right here. I also love that when you highlight it up there, if you notice, look up at the top there, you can see the seconds. If you see 90 words, 86 words, and it's going to be 30-second clip. I love that feature because if I'm highlighting a bigger chunk, I already know how long it's going to be and if I'm pulling too much information. So once that's selected, you can label it if you want to come back to it, which I like, and they have some different colors. Maybe you want to do one for your guest, one for your host, or different topics, different content pillars. You can label those as a team, and then everyone knows which is which to pull from for what you're trying to promote. And then you can do Shift Command C or just click New Composition. Can come down here and open, and there it is. And then we can tweak this. And just to save your time, I'll show you like one we've already done. Let's do a short. So I'll put these into a 1x1. I will build out the overlays in Canva. So I will make sure that's already approved so we're not wasting time on branding. And once that's approved, the only time we will slow up making the video is if we need to rebrand or if we want to change some elements on the 1x1 and 9x16. So this is the example of the 1x1, which I actually prefer more than 9x16 for a lot of reasons. But anyways, I will make this. I will do the branding. We'll add some stuff. Each show could be a little different. For Sarah's example, she goes on different live streams, so we might have to slightly tweak things, but that's really easy to do. And then as you go through, I can build different captions. And there's a lot of stuff you can do in Descript. And from here, I will publish it right here. And this is the way I do it. You can export right to your computer, but it is actually a bit slower. I like to publish right to their website. And so you'll get like a link here. And then that is what you could send your client or whoever you want to review your team internally. Let's say they misspelled road, R-O-A-D, instead of the company. So I could come right here, select the chat bubble, come all the way down to add a comment and say road should be road, hit enter, and then there it is. I know what to change. Now this is very easy and this is a great system. However, there still comes that back and forth from your changes and whether it's approved or not. Do I need to redo it? And that can cause a lot of time and headache and miscommunication, which causes more friction in the content process. So what I like to do is use an app called Frame.io. So we're going to switch back over to this screen, and Frame.io is, as you can see, similar, but they have this magic button here where you can select, does it need review? Are we in progress? Or is it approved? And what I love is when you click approved, I have a Zapier automation that will, or Zapier, send not only to my Airtable, but it will start the email. It will start to build out the process to email the client all of the final assets. So there's no longer does this take a whole lot of my time. This takes seconds for me to, once you select approve, that I don't have to deal with the emails and the back and forth and where are my files. I'm building the system to do it for me. So hopefully that gives you a better idea of how I'm automating my process and what I'm actually doing to get my editing time so far down to produce more content and better content. If there's something in this process you wanted me to dive a little deeper in or want to learn more about, just comment below. I have a bunch more of these videos coming out where we're going through the process, and as I evolve it and as I'm using different softwares, I'm going to be putting that out as well. So thanks for watching and cheers.